Another UE boss, another no UE guide. So again, like the 2 updates ago, we are not going to use UE for this fight because UE is just not that good. Unfortunately, Queen is just better, even on UE's own boss. But anyways, the resonance increase doesn't matter. There's no resonance here. Electric damage also doesn't matter because we don't use an electric. Then Berserk stack. That's basically more damage the boss will do as you progress through the fight. As for the gimmick, every time you use a skill, it will inflict a mark of the element. Since we're using a lot of nuclear here, so it's gonna keep getting the nuclear stack. And we reach 3 of the marks, you will summon a nuclear Rakshasa. And when you kill that nuclear Rakshasa, you get a nuclear buff to your team. You try and summon and kill the Rakshasa as soon as possible so you can get the buff sooner, so you can start doing more damage. And only 2 Rakshasa can be summoned and killed. So only like 2 buffs. And this is the team. I will show you a Soy replacement. Mirror replacement with Soy, I mean. Soy is also pretty good. The score difference actually isn't that big, but one thing you should know is that using Soy over Mirror is going to be more RNG because the boss hits hard. And you have Vino on the team who is weak to fire, and the boss uses Margidan almost every single turn, so it's going to be tough to use Soy. But it works, and it can score pretty well also. Okay, so Queen, of course, main DPS. I'm using an A0 4-star weapon Queen, so this is the score is not going to be as good as a A0R0. It will also be a bit more RNG because if your Queen is weaker, it means that it's more difficult to kill the Rakshasa. But I've put in like some stuff to try and increase the chances. So we have skill 1, which can help inflict ailment, and it can also do AoE damage, which we do need to kill the Rakshasa. Usually our main DPS, of course. And then highlight to do big damage also. Awareness and truth set, and it's only 4-star weapon. And now I'll just scroll through the stat screen for you guys. So our healer is gonna be Marion. Marion A1, specifically A1R0, because A1 is the pierce rate, so you require less defense debuff. If you're using Soy actually has a lot more defense debuff compared to like this pierce rate from Marion. So there's gonna be some changes to your personas and your weapon, your dagger. So Marion is gonna skill 2, skill 3. Skill 2 only probably like once or twice only in the fight, depends on how if you have the diagnosis stack or not. The revelation card is gonna be the trust and prosperity. You need this for this fight, the 5-star weapon. So if you have diagnosis stack, you use a skill 3. If not, you can use a skill 2. Because using skill 3, you will consume diagnosis stack to buff the team's damage and stat screen. For our debuffer, Vino is a must here. Skill 1 inflict ailment, skill 3 can debuff also. Highlight can also inflict ailment. Then we have the Harmony and True. This is for more nuclear damage, very useful. And 5-star weapon for extra defense debuff, stat screen. Navigator is going to be Okian. If you have Phoebe, feel free to use her. I don't have her. It's only Okian. Skill 3, skill 1 for the damage buff. Then we have the Labor Integrity set, 4-star weapon, stat screen. For dagger, I'm using Arc Knife because I don't have enough defense debuff. You have to do the calculation yourself. But if you're using Soy, you should probably just go with Ex Machina. Ex Machina put Bishan Mountain in front because Soy has a lot of debuff, especially with the 5-star weapon. 5-star weapon and skill 2 is like already almost 100% debuff, which is massive. But since I'm using Marion, the PS3 is good but not enough as like a substitute to defense debuff. So I need Arc Knife to debuff more. Since I'm using Arc Knife, it means that I actually have to attack the boss, which means the persona is going to be different for Soy and Marion, which of course I will show again in the end of the video. So the first persona you need is going to Bishan Mountain. Bishan Mountain is important for Wakunda and also Imperial Purge. The main purpose of this is actually just to summon the Rakshasa because you need to hit it with nuclear moves. Then we have Norn. You need Magarula and Garudine both. Magarula can help you hit the Rakshasa who is weak to wind, which can help you trigger one more. I forgot to mention also Marion's skill 1 can also hit the minion because the minions are weak to bless and also wind. So you can hit and trigger one more. And you can use the one more to hit the boss to give an extra mark. So Norn is good because of the wind swap, which can trigger the passive to give more defense debuff. The last one, Dionysus, for the rebellion, for the crit buff. As for the turn order, like this, as long as Vino is second and above, and either these two is fine because Vino will get knocked down pretty much every turn, and you want to use the highlight on one of the turns, so you want to have her wake up sooner. If you put it here, she's not going to wake up, you cannot use the highlight. And yeah, we can begin. So the first turn, you go Bishan Mountain. Use the Imperial Purge. We need to try to summon the Rakshasa as fast as possible and kill it as fast as possible so that we can apply the buff Picker to Queen. Then Marion can use skill 2 buff Queen. Or I should say heal Queen. Then you can just do a skill 1 here. Inflict all the elements. Yeah, Okian use skill 3. It should give you another positive rhythm. Then you can use a Magarula. Oh no, ideally you want to wind-swept both of them, so that you can actually kill the Rakshasa this turn, both of them. But the queen I'm using is just A0 4-star weapon, so if I don't wind-swept both of them, it's gonna be tough. Okay, I only wind-swept the left one. I'll just proceed. But ideally you want to wind-swept both so that you can debug the middle one also. And then make sure you one more the boss. This will give you another mark that it will summon again later on. Then we can highlight queen, target and boss also. And Vino is skill 3. And this will summon. Then for Marion is useful here because the sides are actually weak to plus. So you can do a 1 more. Attack it, knock it down. And then I'm gonna 1 more the right one to kill it hopefully. Okay. Then on Queen's turn we're gonna crash out. Then we skill 1. Put the Rakshasa as the main target to ensure that it dies. Because of the card set that will do extra damage. Okay, it dies. That's good. So both are dead, which means the queen gets all the buff. With Marion, you don't really need to worry about dying. She heals a lot. If you're using Soy, there's gonna be some RNG involved, which I'll explain in its own section. Then skill 1. And skill 3. Then increase Wonder Highlight to buff the damage. Then Queen skill 3. I don't know why the boss keeps hitting Vino for some reason. But anyways, I'll cancel 3. Then we can go Vishamountain, Akunda. Now skill 3. Then we can skill 3. Then Queen skill 3. It keeps attacking Vino for some reason. That's like 3 times already. Then we do Garudai. Make sure you inflict the windswept. If you're using an A2 queen, you can skip the Garudai and you can use like a buff instead. You don't even have to use Angna if you have A2 queen because of the pierce rate. But we're gonna use Vino highlight. Got a double, that's nice. Then we're gonna skill 1 Vino. Then you just gonna skill 3 Marion again. If you don't know how to diagnose instead, you can just use a skill 2 instead. Then we can crash out. Then skill 3. Good damage. 100k for an A0. And skill 1, Nokian. The final turn. Hopefully another positive. Nope. But we will Rebellion Dionysus of the crit. Then we can skill 3. 50,000, that's decent. And then skill 3 again. And Queen highlight. This should do over 300k. Okay. Okay, positing rhythm, nice. Last one. I think we have 3 stacks positing rhythm. Yes, we do. So now we skill 3. Okay, 300k, not bad. It's not even a new record actually. Yeah, 27.7 million, that's pretty good. For A04 star. So this is a team for free to play. Just imagine the Arn is Queen because I don't have her, so actually there's quite a few differences. The rotation is actually quite different also, but I'll walk you through what to do if you're using the team. So Okian is gonna be running Trust and Prosperity set because we remove Minion already, right? And then Soy will be running Control and Departure. This is for the debuff, so Control Departure. So for the skill, you'll be using mostly skill 3, skill 2 because you need to tank, unfortunately. But it's fine because we are also going to use Rakunda. So because Rakunda and you can see that Rakunda and the defense debuff for Gun is almost the same. 35 and like 37% from Rakunda or something, so it's about the same. So you kind of like substitute. Then for Wonders Dagger, I'm using Ex Machina because I already said Soy has a lot of defense debuff. You do not need Arcanine anymore. Of course, it's assuming you have 5-star weapon for both Vino and Soy because both of the weapons can debuff defense. So Persona, you're gonna have still have a Bishamonten who will be using Imperial Purge to summon the Rakshasa. Then you have Dionysus for Rebellion and also Revolution. Then you also need Yelanga with Rakunda and Rebellion. Yelanga I'm using is because it gives the crit damage. I cannot use it for my Marion team because I need the extra defense debuff. So I need no one to hit with Caroline to deal defense. Since I don't need that much defense debuff already from the Soy team, I can use the Rilanga Rebellion. I don't have to hit it anymore, so I also don't have to use Arc Knife. So I'm using Ex Machina. So this is a rotation for Soy. So there is quite a big difference. The turn order shouldn't matter as much, but I would recommend putting Soy in front of Vino. This so that Soy can debuff, then Vino can do a bit more damage, which can increase your points a bit more. That's why Wonder ended up being in 3rd place, or 3rd spot I mean. So you can see the rotation. On the first turn you can choose to gun or skill 3. Ideally you want to gun to debuff the defense. You can see that I don't have any Rakunda here, but Rakunda here instead. So that you can see that gun is going to last until here, and Rakunda is going to last the second half. So it's like, you get all the defense debuff on all the turns. So you actually don't have a gun anymore from the second half because you are Rakunda. So on the first turn you can just gun or spam the gun. But doing that will increase the risk of you dying. Because you don't have skill 3, you don't have the max HP increase, so you're more likely to die. So it's up to you want to gamble or not. You can see that just skill 3, skill 2, skill 3 just rotate. Then for Wonders rotation, you can see I use Imperial twice. This is because of I just need to hit it to summon the Rakshasa. And sadly for this rotation, you only kill the minions on the 3rd action, on the 3rd turn. For my Marion team, I killed everything in the 2nd turn. We delay a bit more, which means that on this turn I actually have to use skill 1. And for Queen, I have to use skill 2 here because I need to heal. Because I don't need, so it's not enough to tank. If you want to really just remove all the RNG, you can choose to highlight with Soy here. That will sacrifice some damage, but it will really increase your chance of surviving. Then Vino is the same. The highlight sequence is pretty much the same. Only this part. Oh no, yeah, only this part. You can choose to use Soy if you want to tank more. As for Wonder, you can see that I use Dionysus Rebellion, then I use Yelanga Rebellion. The reason why it's different because Dionysus Rebellion, I use it here, right? The passive lasts for 2 turns, so it will last until here and here. Then here I use Revolution again, which will last until here and here. So all the crit damage here, all 4 turns we will have the crit damage. Then we have Yelanga Rakunda here also. Not Bishamonten, because actually Bishamonten should be fine also. Because initially I chose Yelanga here because I was planning to skill 3 here, but I cannot because I cannot tank. So doesn't matter which Rakunda here. Actually Bishamonten will be better because Bishamonten Rakunda can activate the passive. But anyways, just something minor. Then Yelanga Rebellion on the last turn is because of the passive. Just by having Yelanga on the field, like equipping as your main persona, you will increase the crit damage the boss will take. And then you have crit damage from Dionysus already, so you have like double the crit damage. So Queen this turn, highlight and skill 3 is going to do a lot of damage. Actually more damage than even my Marion team. But the score is still less because overall, like throughout the entire fight, the average is lower. It's only like the last 2 turns that's higher damage. And the score is 26.4 million, which is actually pretty good. It's only like 1 or 2 million less than my Marion team. But the only catch is that using this Soy team is gonna be more RNG because it will struggle to survive. And this is the rotation for this video.